ancestor of today's NDC, once murdered 3 High Court judges in cold blood. One of them, Justice Cecilia Corantinado, was pregnant.
She died with her unborn child, banged, defiled and erased. That dark memory now casts its shadow once more as Mahama returns with vengeance in his heart and fear as his weapon. This time, instead of the bullet and fire, the NDC uses nominations and intimidation. The NDC has proposed 7 new appointments to the Supreme Court. Some competent, yes, but all selected to serve the diabolical agenda of the NDC government for a 3rd term for President Mahama. The wishes of the NDC is to fashion a judiciary in their image, subservient, pliant, loyal to party above law. It is no coincidence that President Mahama himself titled his memoir, My First Coup d'etat. The unfolding attacks on our democratic institutions appear to be his second. But the judiciary is not only his target and the target of his government and his party. Since returning to power, President Mahama has embarked on a sweeping peg of public and civil service. Hundreds of hard-working Ghanaians, professionals who have served government of all stripes
with dignity and skill, have been dismissed without cause or hounded into forced resignation. Their only crime was refusing to wear the NDC's colors or submit to its whims. This is a direct assault on the principle of neutrality in our public administration. It is a betrayal of the values enshrined in our constitution: merit, impartiality, and service to the nation, not to any political party. And as if the shameful attacks on the Chief Justice were not enough, His Excellency the President plans to turn his diabolic sight on the Electoral Commission. Just as several of his party stalwarts have predicted, plans are far advanced to dismantle the current commission and replace its leadership with loyal NDC operatives. This is no longer speculation. It is an unfolding conspiracy. The goal is clear: to seize total control of the democratic process and bend future elections to the will of one man and his party, a 3rd term agenda. He may have risen to power through the ballot box, but make no mistake, President Mahama and his party have no respect for the constitution that made that possible. They speak of accountability, but what do they think they are doing, and who do they think they are fooling? The Attorney General, far from being guardian of justice, has been reduced to a partisan tool, sweeping away prosecutions against NDC officials who allegedly were involved in all manner of malfeasance during the first administration of President Mahama. Now entangled in a web of allegations and counter-allegations, he has become a perfect reflection of the regime's decay, a symbol not of justice, but of rot in high office. They now choose which judge to sit on a particular case, and we've seen the transfer of a particular judge to preside on a case. An example again is Mr. Kwadwo. How a suspect who is on bail could be remanded in custody because the Attorney General claims that the accused is doing something untoward. This is an example of what the NDC is up to. No more justice, but intimidation and what the government wants. And the president himself, this is a man who boldly vowed to sanction any appointee who failed to comply with the constitutional mandate, declare asset before assuming public office. Yet, days after credible reports revealed that dozens of ministers and other appointees had flouted this obligation, Mr. President remains silent, lacking the courage to act. Instead of upholding the constitution, his government issues weak denials and evasive statements, shielding the lawless while persecuting the principled. They recently attacked our brother, John Intim Kwadwo, for speaking out. They claim he has to be reporting to the NIB. For what offense? This is not leadership. It is conspiracy of impunity, a cabal determined to protect its own and crush all who dare to hold them accountable. Let us be clear. This is not politics as usual. This is a dangerous, coordinated attack on Ghana's constitutional democracy. And that is why we march today. We march to resist the rise of a new oppressor and an oppressive regime. One who wears the cloth of democracy but governs with the spirit of dictatorship. We march not as partisans but as patriots. We march because the Constitution demands it, article after article of our supreme law, enjoins us to defend the Republic not with arms but with truth, courage and lawful resistance. We must be vigilant. We must be relentless. We must use every constitutional tool at our disposal to oppose this descent into despotism. Every citizen who cherishes freedom must rise, loud, bold and fearless. We must organize, mobilize and strategize until this diabolical agenda is brought to its knees. We say to the judiciary, your first duty is the Constitution, not to this government, not to any president, not to any party. You owe an allegiance to the Republic and its people. In these trying times, we do not ask you to take sides. We ask you to stand firm, to stand for justice, stand for Ghana, and know this, you are not alone. We stand with you, and will not falter until judicial independence is restored and protected always. Let history record that in the darkest of times, we did not cower to the whims of a despotic ruler and its government in a democratic attack. Let it be said that when Ghana's democracy bled, we did not look away. We stood up. Yes. We fought back with valor and reclaimed our republic. May God bless our struggle. May God bless our constitution. And may God bless the Republic of Ghana and make her great and strong. Thank you very much. Mr. Clerk to Parliament, on behalf of the demonstrators, the petitioners, and all patriots who have gathered here today, I place in your hand our petition. This is the second for the day. The first was to the Judicial Secretary for onwards transmission to the Judicial Council. This is the second to another co-equal arm of states, an equal arm of government, Parliament. Receive it to be transmitted to the Speaker for further deliberations on the floor of the House. Thank you so much indeed. And we promise one more time that this is going to be a peaceful demonstration. No violence intended. Thank you so much indeed.
Thank you very much. Myself and my colleagues have received the petition on behalf of Right Honourable Speaker and will accordingly transmit it to the Right Honourable Speaker for appropriate action. And let me assure you that we will do the needful on our part. Mr. Speaker is the Speaker of the House, and I believe he will also do the needful. On that note, we thank all of you. Thank you.
Thank you for coming.
Media, take your mics. Microphone.
Now, but then I'm in Saudi. Microphone. That's fine.
We are still here. Afenyo Markin arguing was submitting the petition. Afenyo Markin has submitted the petition to the Chief Justice, to the Parliament House. The Parliament House. That's why you are going to. So we are going to the plaster bar.
Abanga is here.
What? Yeah.
Who are the legislature and who are government, they are the executive. Now, and they will share a bankra executive moved out, which has also over parliament. The majority is on the side of the NDC. Now, the judiciary, that is the only place that the Ibu attend one. We are here, we are Sikani, we will be out the phone or the folk crana. Who bet me at the Agena Swiss, we are BB. Sabio, Sasamoto Kra, Anajoa, you bet me at the Agenum, Nayadi Atentine, and a home faso. Tiana is a better sorry, we have better coin be so, say a Chief Justice, I caught TM will be so, a war court to them, you know, and it's half people also saying, I mean, it's a idea, a boy, and nothing, and they have political parties don't know how come one boom. Say, one more back, no one baba, the Genemubi. Na ye di sa enkomo.
Ni say we lawyer ni sani amamrano e kan article 1 for na mo kan ho asem no. Ya tro ba bi say petition e beba no e was say immunity secretary show na ansana yetimi agi atu.
A prima facie case man established.
Almost more established the prima facie case no. Enu nti e na omo activity process no. We did say we or how we work. Go some company and say what ye.
Well, how kakra me gidi say e wo mu ne say wope ye say o fifi financier na hu samai say wope bibi de agina so onipa bia no na nso won but the threshold is what we should not lower say threshold on there say o establish okay and no crase obi tiam go bi so wo court panka san ye tiam go so it's in itself a prima facie case when look because we tiam go bi so there and any enkonko him that will be lowering the threshold in terms of establishing a prima facie case. And that is what so far ya kan e ejina so ye kasa ye guso akasa so say ema ye nyina bibia e wo fom ne de ejina so you be order a very important arm of government.
Yes, some politicians man sam and an verb so me table 9 is for say my park is Supreme Court and then most Mugusu Park is Supreme Court. Now must say endorse and then most say endorse most money for me no crash here musanity.
Sir, President Mama plus 7 and I just said near course on an order.
That's all. We know my
and I abasa the Kosovo judiciary no yene aban no na president no enya adwene if we say who say it is an attack on the judiciary of the Republic of Ghana. Judiciary no na holding Ghana your democracy since 1982. Aban sesa both the parliament yasesa nipa both executive president na pam for as judiciary there abrebia na gina office eno na nipa nyina nya anidaso enya ahotoso say bibi mpoto no anobi be so osisi no na okọ judiciary ho no mo a okọ obenya atemu papa ama na koma atoniam ne say ne aban bi aba no ne say koka dia ne be ha ye nyina nti na ye nyina ate ho agumu ayese we want to tell the president said the oil no emwa democracy na ekwan no nam so no etoro pa yi
okay nti bi say abase aban bi aba oyensi san but ya dey na John the man mama aba oyensi san ya muslim
when yan sesaya ni bia aban sesaya a wo ye so yi minister free wo so yi DC free wo so yi chief executive of a company state institution free obi anu ni asem na mom an arm of the government which is the judiciary no woni hu to me so ba kwa yi obi free ho so be yi obi kura awo so famra kwan no nyina so yie na o famra kwan so ko si ba bi na ba bi aka de aso obugu mu a na ye wo problem e wo ho oni sa tumi no se obeye sa de no de meka ne se omampanyini emfa na ni nto oman democracy na oman da ache fi se ba bi onam no ehu etro ya nhweye na ya nka na omampanyini anya ya ba bi akeka kwa no ehu aban bi ba no so ka se de wayi no nso bayi na emfa man kyekere no papa emma enu ti ni abra aye so ye kasa no kwame poku CID
ba ko pe that's it pa okay nti abusia that's kwame poku CID na wa I didn't know the atudwa fe nti let's go forward yanko anima nketie let's see the rest of the people yeah possible
hey I got the phone away
Ba my baby me training na ball so be a free ball ya. Oh, ba me ke du be a go me.
So guys, we're heading towards the Jubilee House. Yes, that's where we are heading towards. Then we are heading towards the Jubilee House. So that's the last petition that we're going to submit to government. Okay, I don't really. I have to say, airport, the Jubilee House, the route, the Jubilee House. Okay, we will address it. Chief Justice. Some people are also dressed like the Chief Justice. I've also dressed like the Chief Justice. I'm there. So, I'm quiet. And I want to name Papa. Because the police people know, I'm going to take here, making sure say there will be law and order.
Hey, Charlie.
One be how much? No, wait. No, India different. Only a different. There was a Ghana police phone there. I'm going to take measures. But make it yourself. The measures have been taken. See, they are the back. Make it yourself. They'll be protecting their staff. Until we anyone there. The crowd are in front of us. Very soon I'll be reading comments that's coming in. I've seen a lot of comments that are coming in. Please share the video and like and subscribe to the platform if you are just new here. This Daily Watch TV. Let me know wherever that you're watching me from, and I appreciate each and everyone who is watching me live streaming on the live stream. So we are heading to the Jubilee House.
law. And this is what the President Mahama is showing to the country and the people of Ghana. My name is Kwadu
So, we are still heading. We are going to the. Hey, Adam, my small. We are going to the Jubilee House. You can see there's massive traffic and people are already heading towards that place. Even after minority leader, minority Kaku's leader, that's Afenyo Markin, is ahead of us. We need to catch up with them. They are the people that are going to submit their petition to the government. Some people are also dressed like the judiciary. Yeah. So he has dressed like the judiciary. yourself. Come on. They say the judiciary cannot be destroyed. That's the reason why. Yeah. That was I say. Yeah. That was your money. I saw it. Money I saw. house. There's a 50-minute walk. Just 50-minute walk. Then we will reach the Jubilee House. 50-minute walk. Then we will reach the Jubilee House. Yes. We will be submitting their last petition. That's why we submit their last petition. If you can see from behind, the crowd is unhappy. They are not the papa.
see your 5 months or your demonstration about Sam George and I event the Sam James. The guy just told me that I give it up with you. Oh, yes, I give it up. Sam James. Abatraso. Mama, I'm waiting, boy. On Casada. Yes, it's Sam James Picada.
Broken it. It will be chaotic very soon.
They are not parking barricade. Honestly, the post because we do parking. Let's go. No. Yes, hello. What is the media? The media. No, there's no car coming from that side. Relax. Let them go. Everybody go. I left them. Set, relax. Relax. Overcome will be at Yauka. Where you were? Hey, who that? Tell me sorry. I should ID card. I'll do the ID. Everybody should be exercise patience. We are here for the peaceful. Come on, na ha yebere and has like oh my ever ha yebere if you come do inside I say I am do ha na me present I don't know see me no ka say this ano come in front of Jubilee House JM so na car no in si wonde they say obeba abejedia hwea police and had a full security zone massive support the police phone so ejinema we make sure say they are locked here ebiem I say Agyapong enya command See, you have been in front of Jubilee House or making sure some submit a petition. The one is in charge in the Jubilee House. So make sure never cost. So yeah, so I'm going to go. Yeah. Jubilee House and Echina gate na no pay ba ka say e be ko inside na anything be a was be na telephone akosabiti on petition and the mother one who is in charge of today. No ka say that's chilling old Jubilee House so we should flag blue be edi akwani abasa Ghana na bosiabo Kwakwaje bosia bi mti say the IMF4 flag no at the St. Jubilee House inside one. IMF4 flag no na edi akwani aba hudi ewo ho no no ka say if John Romani Mahama or how so ni how da achibi and e beche ti yes yawa ya ki the commander say
commander.
But do they understand what is happening at all? If they do, I don't think this is how they
guys. Yeah.
We are from different stations here.
Relax, relax.
Wait, we are going to check the accreditation, please. Wait.
That's it.
What's your ID?
This is my ID. This is my ID. So guys, we are at the Jubilee House. Yeah. Guys, we are at the Jubilee House.
The media go this way.
Guys, line up. Oh, guys, line up. Again, line up. Guys, no.
That line up now can be Muntio. They did the same thing at Parliament, so you can see that. We're waiting.
Let's line up. Let's allow you. Okay, so media, we'll stand here. Media. Where's media supposed to? Turn this way. Turn this way. Look, Jenna.
Sally boy, make your mic on before you go, so you know you go talk.
Please go back a bit. Go back a bit. Push back. Push back. Push back. No. Say this way. On this side. No. Let's go back. Yeah, media, just stay here.
In this case, you get all the shots that you want.
Chairman,
Yeah.
who is going to say that? Who is going Nobody is joining again. Oh, they're allowed to watch out. Please.
Just give it to one person.
Drop your cable, please. Drop your cable.
Richard.
Richard, come and start.
So we're waiting for them.
Ask him.
Master, you are too away from us. Aha.
It's fine. Richard, it's fine.
Richard, go ahead.
Thank you very much. We're here from the coalition of political parties who are demonstrating today to indicate to our President, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, that we're not happy about his incursion on the judiciary. We think that our judiciary should be left independent. And today we're here with our leader and supporting the unity of our coalition. We have LPG here, we have NDP, we have LPG, and we have PNP and the New Patriotic Party. We are working in tandem with the masses of Ghana to make sure that our president hears what our petition is, and we hope that through you, we can deliver that petition. We have a lot of people. I won't be able to introduce everybody, but we have our national organizer here, Nana Bwachi is here. We have our General Secretary, Afrifa is here. We have our Deputy Speaker, our Deputy Minority Leader, Madam Patricia PJ. We have the leader of LPG, Kofi Akpalo, is here. We have Madam Janet Nabila is here, of PNP is here. We have the General Secretary of LPG. The leader of NPP is also here. Mohamed Frimpong is right here. And the cast of our leaders are here to present this petition and through you to reach His Excellency the President. Minority Leader, His Excellency, Honorable Afenyo Markin will present our petition too. But if you first of all will introduce yourself, then you can carry on.
My name is Stan Dobe.
We need to get short of having the hand in his pocket. It's critical. One of our people should carry that short.
Thank you very much. My name is Richard Anyamba, and I'm Minority Leader.
Minority Leader will present the petition in a GP.
Leader.
Honorable, I should come. Yes, how are you? Thank you.
Oh, guys, hold up.
First, Honorable Deputy Chief of Staff, on behalf of demonstrators, let me say a big thank you for being present to receive our petition for and on behalf of the President. As you are well aware, there are some disturbing matters in the country regarding governance that we are not happy about. We believe that in a democracy, the way to do it is through a peaceful conduct like we have embarked upon and to register our protests. We started with the judiciary where we presented a petition, the same petition to the Judicial Secretary for onward transmission to the Judicial Council. We went to Parliament. The clerk to Parliament received us on behalf of the Speaker. We expect that the petition will be brought to the House floor once the House resumes for deliberation. And finally, to the principal actor himself, we believe that what is happening is not good for us. There must be an end to this issue of you do me, I do you. There must be an end to retaliatory politics. In Ghana today, all of us as political actors have a story to tell. Where do we end the vicious cycle? It is not yielding to the whims of hawks and hardliners in our respective political parties that will make us better political leaders. We believe that the hawks must be pushed back onto the fringes so that the centrists can take the center stage for the good of our country. In today's era of social media, you cannot control what gets onto the streets, and this democracy must be protected and safeguarded. So, my respected brother and friend, this is to you. The language is very respectful and decent and expresses our views because we know we are addressing the president. We hope that it shall receive the needed support for the Chief Justice to go back to her office and do her work. Thank you so much indeed.
Thank you. On behalf of the Chief of Staff here in the Office of the President, and on behalf of the President, delighted to receive the petition from the coalition and to be duly presented to the Chief of Staff for the attention of the President. Let me say that we are happy that your process started this morning and has ended very peacefully. That in itself is a very strong message about the democracy that President Mahama wants to instill in our dear country. If it were the case like this over the past 8 years, I'm sure that the retaliatory politics that you talk about wouldn't have been the case. You referencing retaliatory politics is an admission that the 8 years of President Kwadwo and Mahama were not the best for this country. You can be assured, however, that President Mahama, as every Ghanaian knows, is not that politician. President Mahama does not believe in retaliatory politics. He's described as, too much of a father for all kind of presidents, and everybody knows that. Whatever actions that are being taken now, whatever decisions that are being taken now, as everybody knows, is in line with the provisions of our 1992 Constitution. Indeed, before President Kwadwo left the presidency, he himself had started a certain process where issues were brought to him about the Chief Justice, and he referred them to the Council of State. And that is what President Mahama has done. It is not about retaliating on something that was done by the previous administration against President Mahama or the NDC. So the process that is ongoing is constitutional, and I do believe that if the committee that has been set, completes its work, whatever decisions that they make, just as the Council of State's advice to the President was binding on him, it will be binding on him. I can assure you and the people of Ghana that we appreciate the fact that just as government ensured that you went about your demonstration peacefully, there was one also last weekend, peacefully without any attempt at preventing you from expressing yourselves. We would continue to allow for that peaceful expression of ourselves in this country under President Mahama. Nobody is going to inhibit or stop anybody from going that. That should tell you that President Mahama, in less than 120 days, has demonstrated how he is going to save the democracy of Ghana. It's going to grow. It's going to grow the democracy of this country, and we are going to be together.
Are you accept yourself or you are responding? For the president.
We will work together with you and all the political parties, and your petition will be given.
You are responding, yeah?
The due response. I thank you very much, my brother.
All the best.
We are all going to address the masses.
Right, so there you have it.
Let's all go to
a very peaceful
where we have mounted the
petition by the leader of the minority in parliament.
I'm telling you, implement the 24
I know believe in the process that we have started.
Hey, Daily Watch, where are you? Hey, Daily. Hey, Daily, where are you?
President should take his hands off the petition. Allow them to be independent. They are a co-equal branch of government. They cannot be subject to the executive. That's a simple message we're saying.
And effectively, the response to you that the process that you are against, that they have triggered, is that it's going to be fair.
The only thing you hear we haven't told him is that this is not about the law. This is about politics. Okay, the law is clear. It's been discussed, it's been written, it's there. But there are politics that decides to exploit the law. Is what we're saying. They have premeditated ideas to remove the Chief Justice, go on to remove the EC, and then sponsor a certain interpretation of the Constitution to allow for the President to run for a second term. That's what we're saying. Our petition,
Where's that notion from that John Dramani Mahama wants to run for another term above this one?
If you haven't figured that out yet, then you are not actively in the media. You need to read the room. When a president comes, remove the judiciary, pack the court, then you know what it's up to. So certainly read the room.
Read the room, read the room. Director, one time.
Was to receive the petition, not to respond to the petition. If you wanted to give it to him or you wanted to address him, he's not the president of Ghana. So whatever he said is neither here nor there. He said we are taking the print of salt. The person to respond to the petition is His Excellency the President. He's the one who was voted for, not Standubi.
But he gave you a response. This process, they believe they have triggered that you are against. It's going to be fair.
It does not lie in his bosom to make that pronouncement.
So who are you expecting to respond?
We're expecting the President. The petition is addressed to the President of the Republic of Ghana, not Standubi. Who knows that? We didn't vote for Standubi. It's the President that we voted for. And at the end of the day, it is important that the substance in the petition is what the President should pay attention to. We don't need to set a bad precedent in this country. Okay. We don't need. At the end of the day, we are respecting of the rule of law. We are governed by.
You know how many days you want them to respond?
Well, at the end of the day, we are expecting the President as soon as possible address them concerns.
1 day, 2 days, 10 days, 2 weeks.
Well, we are expecting the President. If this is a reasonable time that's not addressed, we will hear from us again.
All right, sure. So you just heard from me.
Thank you, Abusia. So they went to submit the petition, but Standubi came out to say, sir, that the president is working, and less than 128 days in parliament. The president is working, and then Ghanaians have started giving them doing demonstrations here and there against it, and it seems to be something very bad to done. just us in here.
Speaker, no watch anyone. Come on, come back, bra.
Has the president gone against any provision of Article 146? And if any, why not seek maybe court interpretation?
Have you heard of the charges against? Have you heard the charges against the woman is moving?
Get to Torkonoo.
Torkonoo, have you heard of charges? I mean, somebody said he went to court and the woman shot on her. Somebody said he just advised the president. Advice is free. If you want, you take it. So if somebody advised the president because of that, the minority leader Osahiri Alexander Afenyo Markin. No about you, Kofa.
Yeah, but
and there Ghana for natural say dia ama Penyah Mahama na ban eye no omo njintum ya shasia na omo si o enkrofo omo baba no omo ndo 100. Now we have seen the masses in their thousands. God bless all of you for making it up. Oman Penyah oni ne NDC for no omo so omo protect them. Into one person, Omuyi Chief Justice. No more far or more crowd said the Beya NDC for Asamba. No more come on. Said the Beya Omo this I tell them not just say Omo is a constitution. But ain't seen there, ain't seen China, not the Chisubio. Zaya Beya catcher NDC Abany there. Zawa Yano or Ghana. Anyan Ghana for Yarentina ho na wonfa etutu sam wonfa nsa yakab mamikebi ende obi bia na nyitua za esi yaza asumdwe ena yaza ba dem demonstration na yaza asumdwe so yaza ko yabada wonya ase na yakacha wonde za NDC fasha ase wo yen on the year yada. Any on your NPP funkuti wejumo. All the political parties. Now we be together. Now we be Juma or to them. Makana de mi wia. Makana de mi wia. One me say na mako. What okasem kakra. Waji Juma. So our country Ghana is under siege. A call to rise, resist, and defend the judiciary. That is what we are doing today. There is frightening and ominous clouds now loom over our republic as we march today. It's so clear that the 1992 Constitution, the sacred covenant that binds us as a free and sovereign people, is under assault. The very institutions entrusted with safeguarding our liberties are being infiltrated, manipulated, and desecrated. A ruthless cabal determined to cling to power at all costs. A third-term agenda. Even before NDC under President Mahama could assume the reins of government, we saw a violent assault on our constitutional order. They established the so-called ORA, a committee without any legal basis or constitutional backing, which engaged in flagrant illegality. That was the opening salvo in what has now become a full-blown campaign to dismantle our sacred democratic foundations. Mahama's leadership, the NDC deployed mercenaries and thugs to polling stations and collation centers across the country. And we all know what happened late last year. Honorable Ekuya Efriye, who has warned Abdulkumanov that EC is asking for security to enable them declare GP. For the Electoral Commission to complete its mandate. What we see is intimidation, bullying of states. These mercenaries and thugs did not only brutalize our parliamentary candidates, agents and supporters, they mutilated our nation. They inflicted physical harm, burned down Electoral Commission offices, and destroyed vital public property. Yet, to this day, none of them has been held accountable in a court of law. Now, under NDC, impunity reigns, and it is BNDC-style raids on the homes of political opponents. Dr. Addison, former governor, Bank of Ghana, and Kenoforiata are victims of such, including the ADC to former Vice President Mahamadou Bawumia. We say to NDC, this is not governance. It is tyranny, clothed in the robes of democracy. Additionally, President Mahama has arbitrarily dismissed senior military officers with years of faithful service. He has gutted the Ghana Armed Forces of professionals, experience, and neutrality. Our military, once revered for its non-partisanship, is now being painted in NDC colors. This is dangerous. This is a dangerous betrayal of the republic. And why? Because President Mahama no longer sees himself as a president. He fancies himself an autocrat, a ruler for life. A number of guests at his inauguration told this story. Military dictators, authoritarian sympathizers, men of iron fists and empty conscience. And as if to erase all doubt, he donned full military regalia at a recent armed forces event, parading as commander of a nation he plans to subdue, not to serve. His every gesture speaks to a sinister agenda to break the constitution, amend it, and prolong his grips on power, abetted by a judiciary he is desperate to capture. This explains the relentless siege on the judiciary, a judiciary that has stood as a last bulwark between autocracy and freedom is now his target. Today, the Chief Justice, Gertrude Araba Isaba Saki Torkonoo, a distinguished servant of this republic, is under siege. The head of the judiciary is being dragged through a sham process of removal from office, engineered by a desperate president and a rubber stamp by a failed Council of State. Their goal is not justice. It is intimidation. It is a warning shot to every judge. Obey or be broken. They do not seek a judiciary that upholds the law. They seek one that bows to the will of a dictator. A bench bent to serve power, not principle. They seek to install kangaroo court under a democratic facade. What is happening is no accident. A warning, a threat, a ruthless message to every judicial officer that dissent will be crushed and independence punished. Let us remember the independence, let us remember that the PNDC, the ideological ancestor of today's NDC, once murdered 3 High Court judges in cold blood. One of them, Justice Cecilia Grantian, was